In custody, admitting to law enforcement he violently stabbed a Mesa mom and her 2 teen daughters while they were sleeping.
And all 3 victims were left with extensive stab wounds. They are expected to be okay. Fox 10's Kinsey Beach joining us live now with the latest information on this frightening situation. Kinsey.
Yeah, the victims in this case say they never met the 22-year-old suspect. And in court today, the state said it could have been much worse, arguing that the suspect entered this home with the intent to kill.
They random ferocious attack on vulnerable people in the middle of the night with the stated intent to murder them.
22-year-old Lowell Dorn is charged with 3 counts of attempted second-degree murder.
He allegedly admitted that he entered the residence with the intent to kill the victims who were strangers to him. He also admitted that he has significant urges to hurt or kill people.
The court document states the victims, a Mesa mother and her 2 teenage daughters, were collectively stabbed in the neck, face, arms, and legs.
This court strongly believes you would be standing here on a triple homicide charge if some of the stabs that you are alleged to have deliberately, repeatedly, and viciously committed had landed in more critical locations.
The youngest daughter was woken up with Dorn on top of her. The mother and her 2 daughters, putting up a fight, used a hammer striking Dorn, who ran off.
No specific reason at all. And that tends to suggest that you are very, very dangerous.
Police were able to find the suspect as he left trails of blood throughout the apartment complex and was caught on camera. Dorn was later arrested in Tempe. Police say there were no signs of forced entry. It's believed the suspect entered through an unlocked door. In a post-arrest interview, Dorn admitted to the attack, stating he's mentally ill and was high on PCP. Now, the judge stated this easily could have been mass murder, calling Dorn a danger to the public. She ordered a $2 million cash-only bond. Live in Phoenix, Kinsey Beach, Fox.
All right, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And here we have yet another random attack, a random act of terroristic violence by a young white boy. In this case, it's 22-year-old Lowell Dorn, who broke into the home of a mother and her 2 daughters while they were sleeping in the middle of the night with express intent to hurt and to kill, as he stated during his post-arrest interview. However, even with that confession and that assertion, he is only charged with second-degree attempted murder. Now, if he's telling you that, yeah, I went in there with the expressed desire to kill people, that is first-degree premeditated murder. Not to mention that these attacks were random. He didn't know these ladies, no attachment, no association whatsoever with these people. Just walked in, picked a random house, and went to stabbing in the face, arms, in the leg, in the back, in the neck, and woke up with on top of the younger 16-year-old daughter. Now, I don't know what his intentions may have been then, but it was said that the 18-year-old and the mother began to fend him off, hit him in the head with the hammer, and that is when he fled the apartment. And it wasn't until I think the next day or later that officials got to him and he went to talking. You can tell in his eyes that he was definitely on something, but then they said they already went with the mental ill narrative. Now, the judge didn't fall for it. She gave him a $2 million cash bond. That means he would have to pay the whole $2 million to get out of jail rather than the 10% amount of $200,000. But I've been seeing a lot of this random acts of white violence. White men just shooting people in traffic, white men just stabbing people, just all out, just mayhem. Man, I can't help but to think once again of that old adage of Malcolm, where the chickens are coming home to roost, where, you know, the violence that has been perpetrated throughout this country in various forms, shapes, and fashions has now begun to implode and to exact itself on those of the descendants of those who perpetrated that violence. Now, I want to play one more news clip about this. They're going to give you some more heinous details of this crime, even the possibility of the young man even killing the dog. But this video is fair use for literary and commentary purposes only.
This morning, that frightening story out of Mesa that we had for you yesterday morning. Police now announcing an arrest in the stabbing attack of a mom and her 2 teenage daughters. It was breaking news this time yesterday. The suspects have been identified as this guy, Lowell Dorn. He's being booked into jail on several charges, including attempted murder. Police say they tracked Dorn down with the help of some witness interviews. Now, investigators say that the attacker broke into the apartment where the victims were asleep and began his stabbing attack. This was near Dobson and Broadway roads in the very early morning hours yesterday. All 3 were hospitalized, but the extent of their injuries from the stabbings not yet known. One of the daughters ran off and found a neighbor who drove her to a nearby family for help. Fox 10 then spoke to neighbors, and why they say they've had some scary encounters at the complex in the middle of the night.
A few times I'm up at night, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, like people, like somebody trying to get in. Like I can hear the doorknob like twists, but I always lock my doors.
So are these now connected? The family also says they're searching for their little pet dog, a Chihuahua, Stella, who ran away during this most recent attack.
All right, and so there you have neighbors saying, listen, I've been asleep before and somebody has tried to get in. Now, they said that this was no signs of forced entry, meaning somebody at that residence left the door unlocked. And so that is possibly, that may have been, you know, the deranged serial stabber, thug, barbaric, Neanderthal, criminal, savage, all of those things. That may have been him. Once again, this is another heinous crime committed by a white person, but we don't hear about this on the national news like we heard about the Charlotte light rail stabbing or the Cincinnati brawl. Why are these horrific crimes not giving the same media attention as all of the other horrific crimes? And I think we've answered that question. We pointed out this high and low. And so that is why I must continue to really balance the scales, as I mentioned the other day, tip the scales of these biased media companies, which only wants to show black violence, black crime, black degeneracy, the lowest form of black behavior, and excuse articles and situations like this. This is a random attack of innocent people sleeping in their bed. This guy, there should be a whole national campaign, you know, exposing this guy, condemning this type of acts of sleeping, breaking into someone's house and stabbing them, trying to kill them while they are asleep. You get no more innocent than that, than being sleeping while you're being stabbed. And so we'll keep an eye on this and see what type of loophole that Lowell Dorn may even begin to use as his legal defense, as he's already mentioning that I was high and, you know, I'm mentally ill defense that always sometimes work for, you know, certain groups. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this horrific crime in the comments. Y'all see the number 919-587-7782. And if you do like this content and want to support and help the channel grow, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing, but it does help my videos to get into the internet space more frequently and more on a regular basis. But also, I thank you guys for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting on these videos. And as always, peace and blessings. Scripture says all things that are hidden shall be revealed, and those things done in secret shall be exposed on the mountaintop.
Let's go, Rich. You watching Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. The propaganda grammar, don't believe none of it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing. Telehouse Publishing, breaking news coverage. Give you the truth before fake news throw mud in it. Before the jury decide and the judge discover it, you should tune in to Telehouse Publishing.
Negroes have listened to the trickery and the lies and the false promises of the white man now.